Hi, this is Steve Irwin with Go Engineer. Today I would like to present to you the process of unloading and loading material cartridges in the Fortis 250 MC, dimension 768 or Elite or 1200 printers. Many times when you want to run a job that's very lengthy, you find that the cartridge of material that you're using will run out in the middle of the night or over the weekend when you're printing the job. You want to go in and replace that with a fuller cartridge. So this process will show you how to go in and unload and reload cartridges. So in step one, what we have is the ability from the idle screen by selecting the material option that you see on this screen. The second screen that comes up after we've selected material is the unload option. You'll also notice that it tells you before we unload the percentage of the material that's available in the model and in the support. So keep in mind that we're going to be changing the model material and it's at 35%. We'll use that later on in the explanation. So I'm going to select the unload option. The next screen comes up and at this point it shows us we have options for unloading material. We can either unload both material cartridges or we can unload the support or the model, whichever one we need to unload at that time. This particular example, we're going to just unload the model material. The next screen after we select the unload model comes up with material load unloading model, just letting us know that what's taking place. In the following screen it comes up with a shorter version of the message just telling us that material is being unloaded. The next screen that comes up is when the process is completed and the machine tells us that we need to now remove the material cartridge from the bay. To remove the material cartridge from the bay, all you want to do is just press in on the cartridge to be removed until the latching mechanism releases the cartridge. That will spring the cartridge backwards and then you can remove the cartridge from the printer. At this point you want to clip the remaining piece of material that's hanging out from the machine and leave about an inch of material left out of the cartridge. So remembering back how much material was left in that cartridge, it was 35%. So what you like to do so that you don't have to put the cartridge back in to find out how much material is left on that cartridge is to place the amount of material on a sticky note and place that on your cartridge. Another good idea is to place a piece of tape on the end of the material sticking out of the cartridge. That way it would prevent the material from falling back inside of the cartridge. Another option you might have is to, if you don't want to use tape or if you don't have tape, you can just create a kink in the model material and that will keep it from falling back in. With a support cartridge, the support material is much more brittle, so you can't kink that. So it would be necessary to use tape for the support material. If you know that the cartridge is going to set idle for many weeks or months, it's a good idea to place that in a Ziploc bag. You can get those bags from most hardware stores or grocery stores, and the best size bag that works is the hefty jumbo size bag. It's a tight fit for the black cartridges, but they will fit. Once you get the cartridge in, you can use a vacuum cleaner to suck out the additional air, and that will help keep moisture out of the cartridge itself. Then zip up the Ziploc bag and store it on a shelf wherever you need it. At this point, you will see a screen on the printer that shows a dash 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 at the model area. that's just showing us that there is no material loaded. You'll notice though that there's an add remove message at the top of the screen. So at this point, if we go back in and get ready to install the cartridge, we'll want to snip off any tape that we might have had and leave about 1/8 of an inch of material sticking out of the cartridge. Place the cartridge back into the machine and then push it in until it latches in the mechanism in the printer. At this point, when we look at the screen, we should see the reading for the new material cartridge that we've just placed in the machine. This particular cartridge has 55% of material left in it. The next step, actually pick the load option from that screen, and then that transitions us to a new screen that gives us the opportunity to load model. So we select that option, and then it changes screens again to tell us that model material is being loaded with material load. The last screen, it just shows us the option that we have to continue with the process of doing an unload of material, or we have the final option to say done, and the task is now complete. Again, this is Steve Irwin with Go Engineer. Hope you have a great day. Thanks.